games. Whoop, let's go. Hursty Games, and this how we do. Now it's time we team up.
Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome to another SBC completion guide. Now before we get into this, I do just want to say, like I always say, I'm not trying to claim this is the cheapest method or the cheapest way to complete this SBC. It was the cheapest for me, but one thing I can say to you guys is I bought almost every single player in all of these SBCs because my club is pretty much empty right now. So what I say is the value of the SBCs of the players I've got, because I have actually gone and bought every single player, and any players that I do have first owner, I've looked them up on the market to see what their value is, just so I give you a fair reflection of the price. But today we're going to be completing the Clash of Titans Advanced SBC that EA added recently to the SBC section of the game, and hopefully this will be a helpful guide for you. So before we get into this, I will tell you that I spent a grand total of 74,500 coins, and again that includes the price of the players that I did already have first owner. So 74.5k is how much all of these players cost me altogether, and the price of the packs, if you were to have the packs tradable, which sadly they're not, are 150 to 160,000 coins plus the Jumbo Premium Gold Players Pack. I can't remember the exact value of that one, and there's also, I think it's a Rare Election Players Pack or something like that. I can't remember the exact value if you were to buy that on the store. So 150 to 160 plus the Jumbo Premium Gold Players Pack you get for completing all of it. So all in all, you're looking at just under 200,000 coins worth of pack. Okay, so let's get into the actual SBCs themselves. One thing I will say is I will open up the packs at the end, so you guys will see the packs as well. But regardless, let's get into it. The silver goal was the first one. It's Celtic versus Porto. This one cost me 9,000 coins. Every single player here was purchased. I didn't have a single first owner player. The more expensive out of the two nations are Scotland, but obviously because it's 11 different nations, you do need to get a Scottish player and a Portuguese player, even though it just says, oh, you know, you need two of both of them, but you just need one of each, but you do need to get one of each. The Scottish players are the slightly more expensive. Armstrong I found was cheaper. I saw a lot of people recommending Richie, the left wing back at Newcastle, but I found him a little bit more expensive. But all you need to do, whichever Scottish player you get, you just need to do a little trio around them. So if you, for example, you get a Scottish striker, just get another striker and centre mid or cam from the same team, and guarantees you a nice little bit of chemistry there. But basically you do a little trio, another little trio, and then you can either get a right back that links to the midfielder here, who also has a link to the middle, or you can get a right back that links perfectly to the centre back, whichever works for you. Either way, it will get the chemistry. Feel free to look at this team and have a little look yourself if you want to potentially use this. Also, don't forget, if you have players in your club, you can make it work. Let's say you have a striker from a different team, that you can also get another striker and cam from different nations from the same team, then use them instead, because obviously it'll be cheaper for you. But that is the sort of layout that I would recommend in regard to where the links are. And like I said, this one gives us the Rare Election, which I'm not too sure how much it costs. I can't remember. In my head I've got something like 20 or 30k, but I can't remember. But Rare Election Players Pack for the first SBC, which isn't too bad. Okay, up next we have La Decima, which is the Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid derby. And this one, it's the main thing to pay attention to are the La Liga Santander and the six UEFA League Common or Rare. So it can be Common or Rare. Commons 9 times out of 10 are cheaper, but sometimes they are a little bit more expensive. This one cost me 13,500 coins, just have to check my spreadsheet. But 13,500 coins, the main thing I would suggest here, if you look at a team like the Belgian League, or you could look at the Russian League, those are the two cheapest leagues I could find with a hell bunch of UCL cards. By far, they were the cheapest. So you kind of want to get a bunch of those up front, and if you have, it would be perfect if you have a La Liga Santander UCL card as well. And if it's a midfielder, you whack them in the CDM spot, obviously a keeper that goes there, a defender, put them in wherever, and if you've got a winger, then pop them obviously at left or right back for whichever side that they are on. One thing I do want to say, this guy, Bongonda is how I'm going to pronounce that. He's normally a left mid. I converted him to left wing because at first I thought I could do it cheaper than I could, but you don't have to convert him. But yeah, this is relatively cheap. The non-rares there are very, very cheap in the Liga Santander. They don't cost too much, which is why I stuck with the defensive half of things, because I found a lot of attacking and midfielding players from the Belgian League that were very, very cheap. So yeah, 13.5k spent on this one, and this one gives you a 35k pack. So 20k saved in regards to, you know, the value of the pack, but obviously it is untradeable, but not bad. Up next we have the Heroics SBC, and this one gives you by far the best pack, and actually isn't one of the most expensive. I expected this to be about the price similar to the AC Milan Liverpool, which is the most expensive, but this one cost me 12,000 coins. It didn't cost me much at all. The only player I had beforehand was Rudiger, but again, I've included Rudiger's price in this, and honestly, I think this is an incredibly cheap SBC. One thing I would say, if you've been doing the Serie A upgrade packs, and if you by any chance have a Serie A player that is at least 80 plus rated, so you're looking at the likes of maybe Balotelli or Belotti or anything like that, it will make this SBC much cheaper. Yes, you're losing out on a player to put into another Serie A upgrade, but it makes this a lot cheaper because they're about 1.7 to 1.8k, the rare players from the Serie A. But that is basically the squad I've gone with. I kind of hindsight a little bit. I do regret getting Janks because Janks was a little bit pricey. So there is a high chance you could probably do this for a little bit cheaper than me. But Janks was about 2,000 coins, which I kind of regretted doing. But I'd already committed and bought Lena and had the team set up like this. The main thing you want here, your defense, your goalkeeper and 2 centre-backs, you want them all to be from one nation, but from 3 different leagues, and then you just want to link off with strong links either side. If you can get a perfect link between your Italian player and another player in their team as well, that's really helpful. I did actually end up having some extra Germans and Italians. I don't think it made it too much more expensive, obviously apart from Janks, but other than that, I did need a German centre-back anyway. And then you just need another perfect link with a weak link. And here I've got this Tawamba. I literally just looked at any striker that was a different league and nation from everything else just to make sure it ticked all the boxes. So again, main thing to focus here is look at where the links are here, where the perfect links are and what's linking to what. Don't have to necessarily copy the exact team, but that's how I did it. And this gives you a 50k pack, so the best pack from all of it. It's a 50,000 coin pack, and again, it cost me 12k. Okay, last but not least is the Miracle of Istanbul, and this is a very expensive SBC. One thing I will say, if you're looking at things on Footbin, none of the Footbin prices are at all accurate because obviously they haven't updated for the most recent player prices. So I'll show you the team that I use because it is an expensive SBC. This cost me just short of 40,000 coins. It is not cheap to do. This guy here, Denswell, is in almost every single SBC, and to be fair, he is kind of the card that makes this all work. He costs over 7,000 coins. I sniped him at 7.5k, but I included his price being about 7.9, which is what he was selling at for the time of me recording this. But these cards are very expensive. Bergwijn and Quincy Promes cost me just short of 10k each. I saw a lot of people using UCL Wijnaldum. UCL Wijnaldum is like extinct and is at 10k. I found it cheaper to buy Bergwijn's UCL card and then normal Wijnaldum instead of going, for example, you know, UCL Wijnaldum and then normal Bergwijn. For me personally, I found it cheaper that way. You can also use Jetro Willems here at left back, but I went for for Van Arnold because he was cheaper for me. The right back can be literally any Serie A right back if you're using Politano or an 82-ish rated Italian player there. But the main thing here is the nation, this entire left-hand bit, apart from these 2 on the right-hand side, or if you flip it and do on the left-hand side, need to be one nation. Just concentrate on the number of leagues. Good nations to do this with. You've got Brazil, Argentina, obviously the Netherlands, and sometimes France can be quite good, but some positions you can sometimes be a little bit lacking from other leagues when you need, you know, at least 5 leagues in there. But it's a very tricky one to do. Remember, don't buy 2 players from one team because it will end up biting you in the backside. I was going to try and get Hatterber at one point, obviously I got the rune, so it wouldn't have worked. But yeah, 40,000 coins we'll say for that one, and it gives you a 45k pack. So even though the 45k pack is more coins, it's an untradeable 45k pack, so the value obviously goes down a little bit. It's a very expensive SBC. That one is by far the most expensive of the rest. Costs more than the other 3 combined, but we do complete the Clash of Titans SBC, and we do get a Jumbo Premium Gold Players Pack back from it. We need these packs to pay out because obviously it's not the cheapest of SBCs. All in all, like I said, it is 74,500 coins. So it's quite expensive, but if you've got players in the club, it might be a tad cheaper for you. But now we've got to see if the packs pay back. Okay, so let's get into these. Let's start off these packs. We'll start with the Rare Electrum because I'm fairly sure that's the cheapest pack out of all of them, I think. But we'll open it anyway. So 6 rare golds, 6 rare silvers. Again, any form of walkouts during this just kind of help pay back what we spent. We get a Common Ball card is what we're going to get as the main card from that one, which is why we've got a right stinker of a board there. And we get ourselves 2 stinky silver Common Balls. A couple of players here that would have been helpful for that SBC. So if you're opening them one at a time, a few players here would have actually helped me out. But other than that, it's a bit of an L from that pack. So we'll just move on to the next one. I think next I'm going to do the one that's actually like the big reward. Actually, no, I'll do the Mega Pack and then I'll do that one because I think the Jumbo Premium Gold Players Pack is a bit of a stinker. But regardless, let's do the Mega Pack. So 35k pack up next. See if we can get anything from the 35k pack. We do get at least a board, so that's something. It is only a board, but I'm not going to complain too much. We get, I think that is going to be Falcao. It is indeed Falcao. So that's a bit of a stinker. You know, some sort of good, what's it called? Chem style will help me out here. A few players that are going to be usable for some SBCs. A few squad fitnesses, which I won't be too upset about. We get a loan pack. And we get a duplicate of Dama Traore. Okay, Jumbo Premium Gold Players Pack up next. Let's get that one open and see if we get anything from this one. Again, they're all untradeable, so I'm not expecting too much. We don't even get a board. Okay, well, that's an absolute stinker. That is poor. From the big quote-unquote pack from the SBC to not even get a board is a bit of an L. We haven't had a single UCL card as well. That's very, very noticeable. Not a single UCL card from these. I'm not saying that they're trying to do that on purpose, but it's just noticeable. Okay, we're going to do the 45k pack next to the Prime Gold Players pack, see if that can help us out at all. I'm hoping for at least one walkout from all of this, and we've left our best 2 packs till last. We have got a board. We have got a board. Definitely, it's not a walkout, so don't be him again. It's literally giving me Falcao in the space of 2 packs. That is absolutely ridiculous. Well, that's fun, isn't it? Okay, weird. The 45k pack was tradable. Is that meant to be a thing? So the AC Milan and Liverpool one, the pack was tradable. I mean, I still didn't make 45k pack from it, but okay, we'll get into 50k pack. Maybe it was just the 45 that was tradable because it's an expensive SBC. I don't know, but final pack of this, and we don't even get a board from the 50k pack. So I've been absolutely mugged off in regards to the packs. However, hopefully this method has helped somebody out there. If it has, then it's value to me. As long as it's helped somebody complete this for maybe a little bit cheaper than before, then I'm happy with it. So yeah, the 45k pack is tradable. Bit of a weird one, but there we go. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Of course, if you have, then please do leave a like on it. It is greatly appreciated. I hope to get more things like this out for you and help you guys try and complete these SBCs for as cheap as you possibly can, or at least show you how I completed it, and maybe it helps you guys out a little bit. For now, guys, I do want to say thank you very, very much for watching. If you are new to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. On our way to 5k, it would be amazing if we can get there anytime soon. And make sure you turn on notifications to be told anytime that we upload a video, or indeed go live with a live stream. For now, guys, I want to say a massive thank you from me. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you soon.
Hursty
Look after
games.
yourselves, and watch
Let's
it.
go. Hursty games, and this how we do. Now it's time we team up. Check them online, you might catch them playing FIFA. Hey, yeah, you know we keep it live. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Gaming channel, what's the best one? Keep it hella dope, hella fresh, huh? Yeah, Hursty games, tune in. Even told my grandmama, sister, and my best friend. You might want to check them if you want to be entertained. You already know the name. Check us out, Hursty games. Hey, whoop. Make sure to give a like and subscribe.